This is Josie Brown with author Provocateur. My guest today is novelist Susan Carlisle, who writes smart, sassy, sexy romances. Some of her novels are with Harlequin, which means her readers are always assured a happily ever after. Recent novels include Christmas with the Best Man, Stolen Kisses with Her Boss, and The Surgeon's Cinderella. And just in time for the Barbouvet Reader Appreciation Weekend 2018, Susan will be releasing a new novel, Redeeming the Rebel Dog. Hi, Susan. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I so love you. First, I'd like to talk about the upcoming release that you've got called Redeeming the Rebel Doc. I have to tell you, I love the idea of a doctor who has been such a bad boy and that perfect, right?
Oh, yeah.
And now he needs the help of a sassy PR executive and, of course, the sparks fly. So, how did you come up with that concept?
I a magazine in the airplane.
Oh my God.
They usually put in ads for things, and this was an ad for a PR person, and I thought, oh, what if there's a bad doctor and needs some PR work, and then just took it from there and went. So I get my ideas from all kinds of places, but this particular one came out of a magazine.
I think that's wonderful. I agree with you. You can be I was sitting in the gynecologist's office and read an article about somebody called a baby planner, and I came up with my book, The Baby Planner.
Oh yeah, that's great stuff. Yeah, and I get them off of. Sometimes I get them off of a TV show, or I get them out of the news or the magazines, and that you just kind of run with it and say, hey, what if,
Exactly, exactly. I also want to note to the listeners that we both come from the same neck of the woods, which is Georgia.
Yeah. I don't think you talk quite as southern since you have left,
Well,
but I understand you better than I do most people. How about that?
well, that's good. And you see, I rolled right into you. Because I get more syrup in my voice when I talk to somebody from the South.
Yeah, have to throw in a good y'all.
Y'all, exactly. I broke myself of the y'alls. So, so I've also noticed you've got like a very strong Southern cadence, both in your plot and your tone. In the book that's part of your novella with the Magnolias and Moonshine joint authors series, was it fun channeling, or is it fun, I should say, channeling your inner Southern belle?
Oh yes, definitely. And you go back to write what you know, and I know the expectations and what we will do and say in the South, and it's fun to use it. I have to be a little more judicious on my medicals because so many of them are translated into other languages, and my Southern doesn't always translate well into Italian or Icelandic or Norwegian. So when I write those books, I I don't say I don't tiptoe, but I'm conscious of, hey, I can't use that slang statement in dialogue because it's not going to translate at all like what I need it to.
Well, that makes me cry because you would think that you're helping them learn our slang as well as when we go there and we hear them talk and we
Yeah,
go, oh, that's a nice phrase.
yeah, but that dog don't hunt, doesn't translate, or you don't crank my tractor doesn't always translate. So it's those type of things that I'm a little more cautious of. And but in the Southern Magnolias stuff, I went gung ho, and I was all about Susan in Atlanta, that kind of thing.
One thing else that I know about you is you have a tremendous love of travel. I mean, you've hit all 49 of the 50 states. I think that's fabulous.
Oh yeah. I would have been the pioneer woman that kept going and said, "Let's see what's around the bend."
Ha!
I, I, And if I go into a house like, or you go visit a house like a Southern Living Home or something that they have it, I want to see in the closets, even though there's nothing there. I'm I'm curious, and I do enjoy travel, and and I go as often as I can. So this year, my big travel part is I'm actually going to the readers event in Paris in May,
Wow.
and then a week later they have one in Berlin. So I'm going to do both of those readers events, and I'm really excited because those are readers that I'm not going to reach in America, and they're a heavy readership for my books in general. So that's my big deal travel this year. So
Great. I've been to Berlin. You're going to love it. It's
oh
really
really? Well, good. I'm gonna pick your brain about that when I see you in April.
good. I haven't even heard of that event. What's the event?
It is called Los Romantiques.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah,
Yes. Very ooh la
if they
la.
put if they put chocolate on it, it would be perfect.
I'm sure they will be putting a lot of chocolate out on it. So have any of your travels inspired books? Like, have you ever been in a place and said, I want to write a book about this?
Oh, all the time. I'm one of those kind of odd ducks on the author end. Is that I don't tend to start with the characters. I very much tend to start with setting. And I think, hey, I like this place. I've got this in my head. I see the visual. What could happen here? What kind of people would be here? And go from that. Now, there are some books that I have that are start with a character, but that's really pretty rare. In fact, the one I'm writing right now actually takes place in a small town in the Panhandle of Oklahoma, and my family came from that area, and I know it. So I've said, okay, what would happen if you take, this Boston doctor that's family has everything and it's a big social life, and plop them down into this small town with 800 people, and it gives you gives you conflict kind of up front, or exterior conflict anyway. But I anywhere I travel, you can guarantee there's going to be a book come out of it sometime.
Well,
Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to that book because I appreciate that area tremendously.
yeah.
And I think you're going to bring out everything that's sweet and wonderful about it. And at the same time, have just the right amount of conflict from, the big fish going into the small pond all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it has been fun to write so far. So but that helps with that kind of conflict. But I also have a good idea of how things look, and I think readers appreciate if you can give them those little tidbits of the dust blowing in your eyes, or hiding in a bunker for a tornado, the reality of everyday life, instead of it always being on a loftier plane. So those they just make it fun for me. So
I
and
agree.
I write what I like, so that helps too.
Want to hear more about the authors who will be attending the Barbara Vay Reader Appreciation Weekend? Just go to my website, authorprovocateur.com, and click on to the other interviews. You'll also find them on the event's Facebook page. And beneath each interview, feel free to leave a comment about your favorite part of it. Doing so puts you in the running for a bundle of the author's books. Listeners can leave one comment per author to be entered for the drawing. This is Josie Brown of Author Provocateur, signing off.